Hello everyone, in this video I'll teach you how to divide a small number by a large number. I have a few examples here and we will go through it. Hopefully it will help you understand how to do it. So we start with this example. We have a 3 divided by 9. So the key with dividing small numbers by a big number is that when you start initially, so we have 3 here and 9 over there, so 3 divided by 9, what you can do is we have to increase this number 3, right? 9 doesn't go by 3, we have to increase it somehow, and to do that we always start with a decimal point. So we put a 0 decimal and then we add a 0 to make it bigger than the divisor. Okay, so now we have 30. Okay, so now we have 39 goes into 30 by how many times? By 3 times, right? If you remember from the previous video, we have to multiply 9 by a number to get 30 or less. So we have 3, we can put 3 times 9 is 27. Okay, we subtracted. Now we have 0. You can't subtract 7 from 0. You have to borrow a 10. Okay, I hope you remember that. We borrow a 10. 10 plus 0 is 10 again. 10 minus 7 is 3. Now 2 is left here. 2 minus 2 is 0. So we have 3. Now again, 9 doesn't go into 3. What do? You can add 1 0. Because remember, the key is when you have a decimal point, when you add a decimal here, you are allowed to put as many zeros as you can in each row. So 1 0 per row. But if the problem is long, you can put zeros. You are allowed to put 1 0 per row without doing anything in here. In other examples, I will show you some other ways. Okay, so again we have 30 here. Now again 3, we have to do 9 goes into 30 3 times. 3 times 9 is 27. Again 3 is left. Okay, so this problem shows that it can continue forever. Okay, the answer is going to be 0.333333. Okay, so you can start wherever you like. So in this example we have 73 divided by 100. Again, 100 doesn't go into 73. What do? We have to increase this, and to do that you put a 0, a decimal, then a 0 here at the dividend. Okay, now we put a 0 here, it becomes 730. Now this goes into this how many times? 7 times, right? So the easiest way, let's say you have a big problem, okay, you have two big numbers. If you don't know how to multiply them, if you like, it's hard for you, the trick that I usually teach people is that you have to just hide two digits from this number and 2 digits from that. So basically now if you look at it, okay, like now you have 1 and 7. How many ones go into 7? 7. So that's why if 7 ones go into 7, then it means that 7 hundreds also go into 730. So you have 7 times 0. Always do it like this because most people confuse it. So start by, don't just say 7 times 100 is 700, because sometimes you make a mistake and it will just continue, pile up, okay, one after another. So 7 times 0 is 0, 7 times 0 is 0, 7 times 1 is 7. We subtracted 7 minus 7, 0 minus 0 is 0, 3 minus 0 is 3, and 7 minus 7 is 0. So you don't write that. Again, now we have 30. So we want to continue, right? 100 doesn't go into 30. What do? We have to add 1 0 here. So because you added a decimal here, you are allowed to put a 0 here without doing anything else. Okay, don't confuse it with the other 0 that usually we put here. Okay, we will see that later on. So because you put the decimal, you are allowed to put 1 0 in each row. Okay, so this is one row, this is another row we added, right? This is another. so it's 300. How many hundreds go into 300? 3 times. 300 goes into 3 hundreds. Okay, so when you subtract it, you get 0. So the answer is 0.73. Okay, we don't say it's 0.73, it's 0.73. Now with this example, we have 2 divided by 200. Okay, so this is now a little different. Okay, so what you want to increase 2 big, we want to make this number bigger than this to be able to divide it, right? So what do? You put a decimal point at 0. Okay, always start with a 0 and a decimal point. Now we are allowed to put 1 0. Still 20 is not bigger than 200, right? You want to make it big, so you are not allowed to put another 0 here, but what you can do is you put 1 0 at the top and 1 0 over here. Now this is 200, this is 200. How many times does 200 go into 200? Once. So 1 times 0 is 0, 1 times 0 is 0, 1 times 2 is 2. You subtract it and you get 0. So the answer is 0.01. Okay, so remember the trick. The key point is that when you put a decimal, you're allowed to put 1 0. Then when you want to put another 0, you better put another 0 at the quotient as well. Okay, now let's divide 22 by 1000. Okay, so we have 22 here and we have 1000. This 1000 doesn't go into 22. What do? We put a decimal point, we add a 0. Still this is 220 is less than 1000. What do? We have to increase it again. We put a 0 here, put a 0 at the quotient, at the answer. Okay, now we have 2200. So 1000 goes into that number. What do? How many times? 2 times. 2 times 0 is 0, 2 times 0 is 0, 2 times 0 is 0, 2 times 1 is 2. You subtract it. 0 minus 0 is 0, 0 minus 0 is 0, 2 minus 0 is 2, 2 minus 2 is 0. So you don't write that. So we are left with 200. Now what do? Again, 1000 doesn't go into this. Because of the decimal, you can add 1 0. Okay, you don't have to add another 0 over there, just 1 0. Now if this number was still small, then you would add 1 0 here and 1 0 at the quotient or at the top. Okay, so now we have 2000, you have 1000 here. How many times does 1000 go into 2000? Twice. 2 times 0 is 0, 2 times 0 is 0, 2 times 0 is 0, 2 times 1 is 2. You subtract it and you get 0. So the answer is 0.022. So remember these tricks here, that the multiplication trick that I told you, okay, and the decimal points and adding extra zeros. Hope this helps. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe.